If you're looking for a gaming monitor that focuses on simplicity, that's budget conscious, and offers you full HDR, then the Cooler Master GP2711 is definitely worth considering for your next upgrade. So let's unbox it and go through everything you need to know before you buy.
Hello and welcome to Box, where we unbox, review and demonstrate the latest tech.
Taking it out of the box, you get the monitor itself, a stand, a power cable, a quick start guide, and 3 essential cables including an HDMI, display cable, and USB 3.0 A to B. The stand is very easy to assemble. The main supporting arm clips into the back, and the base slots into the bottom, and then just screws tightly into place. It weighs about 6 kilograms, and with it being 27 inches, it can be a little cumbersome to move around. The stand is made from a hard-wearing metal and feels incredibly sturdy. I love how the base is the shape of the Cooler Master logo, giving it that little bit of brand characteristic, but in a subtle way. Something I always look for in a monitor is its adjustability. This one offers a full height extension of about 110mm, allowing it to sit perfectly flush with the desk surface if you need it to. The tilt, swivel, and pivot adjustments are also pretty decent, letting you position it as accurately as possible for a more custom setup, even rotating it 90 degrees for positioning in portrait mode. It's also got a 100x100 VESA mount support on the back too, in case you want to wall mount it out of the way, leaving more desk space. For inputs and connections, there's enough here to give you plenty of options for display and accessory connections. Everything is situated on the underside of the back in the center. From left to right, we have a DC input, 2 USB 3.0 Type A's, 1 USB Type B, 2 2.0 HDMI's, a DisplayPort, a USB-C, and finally a 3.0mm audio out. One thing I like about this design is the subtle, simplistic style. It's a gaming monitor on the inside, but on the outside it could easily fit into any space and not look out of place. I love the continuation of the Cooler Master logo as it's hidden in plain sight on the back, with a nice clean looking grey colour throughout. The grid on the back may just look like a design choice, but it houses some cleverly disguised ventilation using their own unique heatsink system for keeping temperatures down and ensuring that it lasts 30% longer. Looking from the back, you'll also find the little toggle control for the OSD and the power button located on the bottom left hand side. It's easy to find and reach from the front, and I prefer having one universal toggle as opposed to multiple buttons that all feel the same. Now if you like a nice tidy desk free of cables, then you might struggle with hiding them completely here. The stand does come with a detachable clip that helps guide the cables into one channel, but other than that, there's no other built-in cable management here, so you might have to accept some stray wires here and there. So now we have it all set up, let's get into the display quality. Quickly running through Cooler Master's specs, this is a VA mini LED quantum dot panel with a 2K QHD 2560x1440p resolution with an impressive 165Hz refresh rate. As mentioned earlier, it is HDR 1000 compatible, so you do get around 600 nits brightness and a 3000:1 contrast ratio as standard, or with HDR you could get up to 1500 nits brightness with a contrast ratio of up to 3 million to 1. Now this is incredibly good for a monitor that costs around £400 in the UK. Truly bright panels are often hard to come by, and considering that these are the best for gaming, having clarity like this on a budget makes a world of difference for those high resolution titles. At first you might notice the brightness doesn't hit anywhere near those standards, but if you do check the OSD, you can change it to max brightness to get the full effect. Colour wise, you get everything you could possibly need for both gaming and creative projects, considering they've covered all bases with 95% DCI-P3 colour, 95% Adobe colour, and sRGB at 99%. It will be relatively accurate in sRGB mode, but I also would recommend doing a full colour calibration beforehand if you plan on doing any colour correction or design work, so you're covered if you will be doing more than just gaming. Of course, there are plenty of settings to create your own detailed colour balance in the OSD too, so this monitor is very versatile for a whole host of activities. So we don't do any extensive testing here, largely just seeing what it looks like to the eye in various light conditions, playing a few game trailers, and of course seeing how well it performs with the fast movement while gaming. I set the brightness to high and enabled the 165Hz refresh rate before trying out various video content, and to be honest, I was impressed with the quality. The colours looked vibrant, the picture quality was consistent and sharp, and the viewing angle was so clear from the sharpest point that I knew I could sit anywhere and still get a perfect view. It does have a matte coating, so there's no struggle with glare that I could see from the harsh lighting in the room. When it comes to refresh rates and response times, it does have a native 165Hz refresh rate, which is good for pushing the boundaries compared to the usual 125 or 144Hz that you see in most budget monitors. Of course, this will differ from game to game, but it does have have support like overdrive for improving response times as well as FreeSync and ultra low latency. Unfortunately, some deformities like smearing in the darker areas of the picture will occur, but as an average gamer, I didn't notice any of this while playing a game like Apex Legends, for example. Some of the features do disable others when in use, so be aware that you can't use them all at once, but for the average fast-paced game, I didn't really see anything that caught my eye as an obvious red flag. It's always important to check your monitor has any defects right out of the box, like dead pixels and uniformity in whites and colours. Just running a few test videos, I saw nothing of the sort in terms of dead pixels, and the colours looked accurate to the eye on default, which was a good sign. Lastly, we have two inbuilt 2-watt speakers here, so there's a level of sound output without needing any additional accessories. Now, I don't always expect much from internal speakers, but for what it's worth, they don't sound tinny or overblown when turning up the volume pretty loud. Game sound also worked just as well, letting me hear distinct sounds while listening for enemy footsteps in Apex. To get an idea of the quality though, here's a small sound sample.
How do I find this, the chameleon? I'm gonna lead you right to her front door. It's against an army!
So overall, if you're looking for a higher than average quality while on a budget, this HDR ready monitor will work perfectly fine for higher performance, fast-paced games and cozy game titles. The colour accuracy is adjustable and scores highly on many fronts for creating content with. Mostly, it's a brilliant modest gaming monitor for the casual gamer that works hard to deliver a great picture across all pursuits.
So what are your thoughts on this Cooler Master monitor? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to see any more reviews from Box, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.